Kay Lasker is an electrologist with a background in medical research. She strongly believes that good education is essential to rendering good, effective treatment. She has lectured extensively throughout the U.S. and Canada. Through her research, she continuously seeks ways to improve treatment and equipment.
In order to offer a good, effective treatment, both the patient and the practitioner need to be comfortable and relaxed. Proper positioning is vital because it can affect the quality and efficiency of treatment. If the patient is poorly positioned, it may be difficult to see the hair, or the practitioner may become quickly fatigued. If you find the needles are sliding out of the skin, it is probably due to poor positioning. Either the patient is not in an ideal position, or the needle cord rack is misaligned. What you need to do is take a step back and evaluate the overall situation. Consider the 4 basic rules. 1, the needles are held in place by gravity. Therefore, you want to work with gravity, not against it. Position the rack directly over the treatment area. Also, position the light for good illumination. I like to use 2 lamps so that the light is coming from different directions to avoid shadows. Second, position the patient so the treatment site is flat and horizontal to accommodate gravity. It is difficult to work on a curved or perpendicular area. The rack should be positioned so it does not get in your way. Otherwise, it may hamper your treatment. And fourth, you need to align the needles in the skin in an orderly manner and spaced so that they are easy to manipulate. Keeping those 4 rules in mind, let's consider the following positions. The multiple needle equipment consists of a console, which generally sits on a utility table, and the needle cord rack and stand, which is placed alongside the patient. Position the needle cord arm and stand so that it is directly adjacent to the treatment site. Don't try to stretch the arm out too far. This will only interfere with your manipulations. Don't try to do the entire face at the same time. Break up the area into sections. For the left cheek or sideburn, position the rack so that the back is over the edge of the table. For the left upper lip, rotate the rack so that the back is over the body of the patient, and the front is in line with the treatment area directly over the upper lip. With a slight adjustment, this position can also accommodate the lower lip and chin. For the right cheek, the right sideburn, and the right chin, rotate the rack so that the back is over the head of the patient. This position is also good for the right ear. For the left ear, I generally position the patient's head at the other end of the table and set the rack in a comparable position. When doing the eyebrows, it is important to prevent accidental eye contact with the needles. Position the rack so that it is slightly above the eyebrows. This way, if the needles accidentally slide out, gravity will pull it away from the eye area. Now see, if this needle is released, the cord moves over the forehead. Don't try to do both eyebrows at the same time. I generally divide the area into 3 sections: the left eyebrow, the glabella, and the right eyebrow. When doing the neck, place the pillow under the shoulders of the patient. Note, this pillow is not under the neck, but just under the shoulders. This way, the head falls back. Turn the head. You'll note the neck is now flat and completely exposed. Position the rack so it is over the body. To do the other side, just have the patient turn her head and rotate the rack so it is over her head. To do the clavicle area, move the needle cord stand so that it is adjacent to the treatment area, and position the rack. For the left side, over the body, and for the right side, over the head of the patient. For the sternum, position the rack in line with the treatment area. With a slight adjustment, this will also accommodate the right breast. For the left breast, I generally turn the patient around so her head is in the opposite direction. It is unprofessional to lean on or too far over the patient to try to reach the far breast. For the axilla, position the patient on her back with or without a head pillow. I let her decide. Bring the forearm up alongside her head. Patients generally have a tendency to bring the forearm close to their head. I find it is better to position it further away from the head because this stretches the skin and gives a flatter area to work on. I don't try to do the entire axilla all at one time, but I divide the area. I work from one end to the center, and then I reverse it and work from the other end to the center. For the abdomen, align the needles over the center of the body. For the pubes, it may be convenient to rotate the rack so the back is over the thighs. The groin and the thigh can present many problems. You have to consider the age and flexibility of the patient. The hair on the thigh generally grows in the shape of a triangle. It may be just a small amount of hair, or it may be quite extensive. I generally begin with the patient on her back. I start to treat the outer edge of the triangle. As we progress toward the center, I tilt the patient by placing a pillow under her buttocks. Sometimes I place more pillows under her left knee. As we progress further toward the center, it is easier to reach if you reverse the patient. Have her lie on her side with her back towards you. Place the left leg straight and bend the right knee. Place 1 or 2 pillows under her right knee. This position will also accommodate the buttocks. I generally do the forearm and hand with the patient on her back. Patients often ask if they can sit up, but I find this slows me down. Work in a straight line. The front legs are easy to do with the patient on her back. And for the back of the legs, the patient lies on her stomach. For the toes and feet, you want to position the patient so that the toes are in a horizontal position. Therefore, I have the patient sit up and bend her knees. This way, both feet are easily accessible. For the shoulder, bring the rack and stand close to the table, and have the patient sit in a chair facing the treatment table. I prefer a hydraulic chair so that I can adjust the height. If the patient is very tall, I lower the chair, and if he is short, I raise the chair. This way, the electrologist can be comfortable to avoid fatigue. I do one shoulder at a time, then adjust the equipment for the opposite shoulder. This position can also accommodate the upper arm. Place pillows so that the arm is almost horizontal. Now you can do the shoulder and the arm together. To do the back, have the patient lie on his stomach. Do only the half that is closest to you. For the other side, reverse the patient so that the head is in the opposite direction.